Good afternoon, and thank you for joining. Some plans I had for the evening fell through, so we're playing Bloodborne instead. Do some quick Discord notices. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-dum-bum. Okay, now we're back to the game. So, just as before, we need to run down this nerd. And while I'm waiting for this elevator, I can rearrange my seat, grab some tea, all that other good stuff. And now we gotta ride this up. Yada yada. I should pull up the stream manager and all that jazz. I think I might be getting some audio bleed. These things aren't going to come after me, right? No, I think we're good. Okay, there we go. Can look at the stream. Okay. Done and dandy. Let's be on our way up here. And I can actually turn this down, can't I? Nope, that's the wrong button, right? What was the... No, that's actually the button I want. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now I'm getting this mostly through the TV. Alright, where are you, you nerd? Okay. Whew. Spicy. That actually killed me. Alright. Well, no better way to warm up than a quick, refreshing death. Back at it we go. It's a horrible troll if this is the first direction you go upon getting to the nightmare. Like, if you run up this kind of corridor here, only to find that it's shortcuts and elevators and a little meaningless lamp. Okay, here we go. Yeah, for this first segment here, these dolls are a bit more dangerous than Mikolash is. Only a bit, though. utterly sad number of vials in the course of fixing this mess. And I think Mikolash casually walked out of the room, which I have not seen happen before. Did he actually? There he is. He just fired that over my shoulder. I didn't know that could happen. Yeah, the auger is a little bit narrow. And he's got a terrible propensity to do it just when you don't want him to. And then there are times where he just wants to pace back and forth doing nothing, like a goon. So there's the phase 1. I've been trying to get more playful with the names I'm putting on the videos, in the Twitch especially. I got snagged on that pillar. Hoping to draw in people who are browsing. Be nice if that works. Sometimes this is just a real exercise in finding the way to die. Jeez. Let's see. Yeah, I was originally planning on playing some Tabletop Simulator with some buddies online tonight, but we're going to be doing Twilight Imperium, starting up a game. We'd be playing that in segments because if you're aware of Twilight Imperium, you know it takes like 12 hours to play or something. Give or take per how experienced everybody is. And I've only played through the game once, so in my case that would be mediocre. I catch on to things pretty quick. At least he's handling this nice and not forcing us to run around in a giant circle. Okay, one of those guys just poised. Okay. Yep. Yep. Not in the groove. I do find it a little difficult to understand at any given time what these little Rayman guys are doing. Since I mostly just run past them or kill them immediately. With extreme prejudice. Come to think of it, I haven't tried shooting one of them. That might be effective. For all I know. Could be. Could be. Let's see, I don't suppose I can see how much... No, I can't really see how much blood I have in storage. I'd like to know, but I suppose I don't get to. Actually, what's it called? I haven't replaced... There's one of the gems on this I still needed to replace. I just found a better one. But I have not done that yet. Oh, now he's going up the stairs. Yep, he's in the mood for a jog. I think the game spared me this in the earlier segments. Oh boy. Go this way. There we go. Okay, yeah, just hang out in here. I wasn't able to cancel out of that with a dodge, and since I had some damage on me, that was lethal. I misspelled his name in the description. Whatever. People know who he is. I thought his name had a K, but it doesn't. It's a C. I can imagine people like trying to run the game deathless. As I saw a posting online. Somebody who was trying to play through the game with a no Hunter's Dream run, which would necessarily be a BL4 run with no deaths and no gun. And I didn't watch the video because I'm working on the BL4 run myself, and I don't need to look at a nitty-gritty strat for every single moment of the game. But my goodness, you'd have to have some quite impressive strats, I think, to get through the game with BL4, no weapon upgrades, and no deaths. But if you're good enough at each of the bosses, I think it's doable. I mean, I know it's doable. Nearly any challenge run you can put to paper is doable in the Soulsborne games. It's pretty cool. No, momentum of that carried me forward. Put him up here, right? Yeah, there he is. No? Okay. I don't know how to make him not do this. I have no idea how his behavior actually works for this. I'm going to try killing the doll on the right-hand side first this time. Ow. Okay, there are the dolls. This segment of the fight, like, is just boring to me, mostly. I'm, like, trancing out for it. I think theoretically getting a critical on him at the end would save me some time in the last phase. Which would be very welcome, considering his second phase seems to just get me in these lockdowny one-shotty scenarios. I need to watch out to make sure that the arrow, if I'm going to take the hit from the arrow, that it's not going to set up the cat of nine tails from the other character there to just instantly murder me, which could very, very much happen. Take your licks, punk. Yeah, I think there's a setup that some people use. I mean, I know there's a speedrun setup to get Mikolash into that room, or to get into that room with him, or to cut him off before that junk happens. Dang thing with all these pillars. Heal. And that killed me. I still have no idea how to actually responsibly deal with that light bursting attack. It just seems to knock me over half the time. I tried shooting him, and it's not... shooting him and attacking him are both not stopping him if he's in the attack. So I need to take the momentum in the fight so that he doesn't have the option to use it. Like, I just need to be on him about that constantly. I think the problem I'm having is that, like, locking onto him and sitting on top of him, he winds up getting pushed to the edge of the arena, and then I can't see. And then I can't see, and I wound up taking, like, weird melee hits from him that screw me up. It's just annoying. Like, if this were just a pillar in the middle of nowhere, I would not have that problem. Or if the border of the of this room was like a small fence and not these weird pillars. Or if there were fewer pillars. There just don't need to be that many. But here I am, doing the fight again. Yep. I can't even, like, stop on a dime and hit him when he does that. I need to, like, react to him turning around. I would bet that, like, shooting him at the right time while he's doing this stuff might be part of a setup that you could do. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, here we are. Come on. Magical dead spot in the attack angle. I got the critical. There we go. Okay, don't wander back through the doorway. I really can't address that. There's phase 1.
Oh, majestic!
I wonder if Bolt Paper is actually more effective against him than Fire Paper. Could not say. Okay, triggered a jump because we're still on, like, Dark Souls 1 jumping controls. So I am pretty sure that Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2 were being developed at the same time. This guy has followed after us to some extent, but we're not really hanging out there anyway. Just gonna shut that door. Go up some stairs. Quite a few stairs. Back up to over here. I did not dodge away, and I got augured to death because I got hit with a slap. I really have no idea when or if he's gonna go for a punch or what to do about it. Really, I can't see any like startup on that. Not so far. I might have to figure out something to actually read when he's gonna do that little chip that makes the fight lethal. I mean, really, the truth here is, let me try Bolt Paper for the next run. The truth here is, theoretically, don't get hit by Augur and the other spell, and you'll be fine, because his melee attacks, worst case scenario, are not going to do like more than 40% health. They're just setting me up for other things, because once I get hit by that, I lose the momentum. I would just like this boss to crumple and die, so I can go back to the fun parts of the game. He even got tangled up on me for a bit there. Okay. Oh, he teleported strangely, because he was in the middle of, like, making a decision. Okay, there we go. I think if you hit him enough times, he just puts himself in, I'm gonna go into this little room to make sure you have a real fight. The number of attacks that I've made that have whiffed on these weird dolls is not insignificant. It's really bothering me. Yeah, I think the only circumstance where I get a visceral here is if I strafe the auger attack. Okay, there we go. So we're going to try bolt paper this time and see how well that works. I don't think I have beast pellets to try throwing into this. Yeah, finish your dialogue so I can look at my gear. I've got one beast blood pellet. We're going to try with the one beast blood pellet this time and see if we can put this dude in a hurt locker. This awful, awful being.
As you once did for the vacuous moon. Grant us eyes. Grant us eyes.
Okay, so with that, he'll be in his little safe room. And there's the sound of the door closing. I say his safe room, it's like his desperation room. He will be in his end of phase 2 room. I guess you could theoretically refer to this boss fight as having 4 phases. He's got a running phase, a sitting in a room phase, and then another run, and then another sit in a room. I fell directly into Augur of Abraitas, and because I was beast-blooded, that killed me. Wow. Wow. Alright. You do lose some defense when you apply a beast blood pellet. I don't know the numbers on it. I think it's like a 10% shift type of thing. In terms of some other ideas, if I'm really getting stuck on this, I mean, I can go back and try changing out one of my Carol runes. We can use the Arcane Lake to get like an extra 7% reduction on his big nasty attacks. Might be enough to help us survive in more scenarios where we're getting killed right now. I don't believe I used a Beast Blood pellet and got killed on the initial fall into the room. That's just wrong, man. I've never seen that before. You, like, faked right for a moment. Before he, like, changed his mind.
Some say cosm.
Alright, stop less chatting, more bleeding.
Prayers.
Okay, that time it, like, triggered the turnaround animation and ate my attack input. I gotta figure out attack on-screen inputs at some point. Because then I can figure out if some of these things are actually happening and I actually hit the button, or if it's my imagination. I expect that would be some extra hassle for this, because it's on the PS4. I think I might have just convinced him not to go into the end room here. Usually he teleports forward, but he didn't actually show up in here. So I think he chose a random direction and teleported that way. Whether like up or down the stairs. Yep, here he is, here he is. And he didn't go left. Alright, so we're still gonna do this. Just go into the flippin' room. Okay, there we go. Okay, it did its weird fall over thing. That auger hit me and criticaled me. The actual damage per attack here is only like 70. I think he might be physically resistant. Doesn't matter too much for this phase, because we can just kind of wail on him. But it does reinforce for me the notion of using the bolt paper in the next phase.
Oh, majestic! A hunter is a hunter.
The fact that
even
he's
in
taking
the
very low
twilight.
physical damage
But
is what is
alas,
leading me to
not
believe
so
that he
fast.
might be of the kin creature type. That tends to be a trait among kin, is that they tend to they tend to have really good physical resistances. At the very least, the resistances and such in Bloodborne are a bit simpler than they are in Dark Souls, where you also have, like, you know, dark damage and this other stuff. And I'm not usually clear on the role of dark damage. Although there's a couple people that it seems dark damage is, like, hugely effective against. Tends to be like some important late game dudes. Here it's just basically normal damage, arcane damage, well, normal damage, fire damage, and electric damage. You can only access arcane damage if you're a special boy. And I actually plunge you on you this time. He was about to auger me on landing again. This time we actually have another lad jumping in. He's going to try to kill me, and is ultimately going to get me killed because I couldn't focus on Mikolash. Cool. This fight is so random, man. This fight feels more random than fights that are actually random. There are other fights where the bosses have way more different behaviors and can do a whole bunch of stuff. Mikolash only does like 3 things, but his fight feels really slapdash. There's a bunch of weird little variables. Blah. Well, let's see. I don't know if these are good for anything. Shaman Bone Blades or any of that stuff. For all I know, there's some kind of weird, incredibly good poison strat against Mikolash or something. I haven't actually looked into whether or not poison is effective against any particular enemy in Bloodborne. It's just barely viable against a couple of guys in Dark Souls 3. And it's super weird that poison mostly won't play a role for you, but is pretty good against the final boss. Couldn't quite get him there, but that's fine. He's going into this room. Get the first half of the fight done. Ouch. I could not get the dodge off there. When you first come into this room, he's really eager to throw an auger in your face. see. I had set this equipment set so that I could be resistant to the frenzy effect. Let me change this out for the student uniform. Get me like 30 extra arcane resist. I don't think there's any amount of arcane resist I can actually equip that will prevent his attacks from knocking me down. And that's a factor of the low level. Oh, I think I lost some viewers with that death. Yeah, it was pretty shameful. Amateur hour or not, we're getting this boss. Okay, he's in a nicer mood this time. So we want to let him get off like at least one auger over here. Okay, that was interesting. Are you the same one? Nope, it's a different doll that came back over for no reason. Okay. Definitely still getting knocked down. Here's this phase. Part's simple enough I can look away from the screen. Alright. Let's get that phase transition in.
Majestic. A hunter is a hunter, even in a dream. But alas, not too fast. The nightmare swirls and churns unending.
Alright, come here, you loser. Okay, he's in his safe room already.
Some say cosmos.
I tried to shoot him there, and it just didn't happen. I got it to happen there a couple of times, but I didn't get a critical. That time I got a critical. Here it comes. Feel the power of gun. When in doubt, just shoot them more. I'm learning that for every single boss.
Waking up! I'll forget everything!
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going for with the title. All right. That horrible, horrible dude is dealt with. And I learned an important lesson. When somebody's annoying you, shoot them in the face. Seems to work pretty dang well for every humanoid-sized enemy. Just shoot them at the end of your combo. Okay, now I need to remember what this key does that I got from his arena several attempts ago. Let me check the description on it. It was the iron door key. Key to the iron gate blocking the great mid-level bridge. Okay. So I believe that relocated passage applies at like the very top here. Yeah, here it is. And okay, that was the drop down before. And we get a lamp. Praise lamp. Okay, now, on top of not being spooked by the horrible crow dog thingamajigs, I need to remember how to get to... Oh, that's right. There are crow dogs and dog crows, just in case one of them was not distasteful enough. I need to remember how to get to the big eyeball thing that's hanging out around somewhere. If I remember correctly, it's one or another like spot where I'd have to drop off. Relative to something. Okay, there's a bunch of items over there. I know that's something fancy. I'm just going to open up this shortcut real quick, and I'm taking this elevator straight back up. So now that we've taken that once, the contraption can work. Now, I think this elevator, since it was open, might actually have a jump-off point somewhere. Was there like a window? Here it is. For where this goes. Flip the organ. Okay, I think this bridge is full of awful, awful things, so rather than just crossing this bridge straight away, I'm actually going to take a warp back, and I'm going to come back to this after I've spent these blood echoes. We will load up on maybe some more bolt paper, but definitely going to grab more blood vials. I need to know more of the context on that, like, Moon Knight bit. It's so quotable and so, like, hilarious. Alright, I'm gonna get, like, I guess 3 bolt papers. They're so flippin' expensive. It also reminds me, is there anything I can purchase from these dudes after killing Mikolash? Oh right, I have access to bloodstone chunks. Actually, I need to finish off this weapon upgrade. Well, not finish off, but I can get it to +9. So now it needs a blood rock. That's right, that was the big fancy thing in this game. Right, upgrading it repairs it. And we can swap this out for a tempering 5. Oh, that's actually slightly less damage than my current one. In exchange for boosted rallying potential plus 2.3%. That references our ability to recover health after taking damage. It's not super worth. We mostly just want to maximize the damage output we've got, because, you know, we're not gonna get things done relying on rallying. So we can go to the middle of Murgo's loft. So we'll be taking the elevator down and taking that little fall-off point to try crossing that big scary bridge. If I remember correctly, around here we can get a blood rock. Yeah, so it's just out here. And the elevators are like just up these stairs past the horrible dogs. Is one of them going to follow us? Doesn't look like it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there's the spot. So we just walk off here. We don't even need to roll. And I'm going to change my garb back to Yarnum Hunter because I need that Frenzy resist, possibly, for some of these guys. We're going to be trying to avoid as much as possible, which may or may not actually happen. Oh my god, that guy just stacked Frenzy on me like it's nothing. Okay. We've got a second one. That's not going to be the right way to deal with him. And that Frenzy's going to happen. So let's try running past here. And then there's a third one. Right. And here we have a lot of like human-faced spider creatures that look really horrible. Like spider cultist things. I don't think they're actually as persistent in chasing us as the earlier spiders. And then I can flip this switch. Is this the one I was thinking about? That's it. Fall down out of there, you horrid, horrid thing. Okay, so dropping that out of the watchtower is one thing. Looting it is another. Right, so this naturally drops us off somewhere pretty awful. We're going to take Frenzy again, okay. I think I need to cross this bridge as well. I just want to take a quick look around here. I think he's actually staring at me a bit more actively because I had out a torch. I want to get this open. I don't remember what that is or if it's good for anything, and I don't care. I just want to make sure I have all the stuff. We're going to eat a lot of blood vials and never look back. Just, you know, yeah, those blood vials were given for a good cause. Moving right along. Are those spiders going to keep following me? That is a yes. This is called a tactical error when you aggro some spiders you didn't need to aggro. Okay. Since I did aggro them, are they guarding anything? Looks like a no. Those are just some spiders to kind of punish you in general for interacting with them. Yeah, when we take a tick from one of these guys, it's basically going to guarantee Frenzy unless we pop a sedative. So I'm going to put sedatives on the bar, because at this point, I don't have a lot of health vials compared to my count of sedatives. I feel like something's going to show up on this bridge to muck with me. But I don't remember what or how or where. Anywho, I don't think I can safely drop down to that from here. I think I need to be somewhere else for that. Let me take a look. So is there like a halfway thing I can land on? Or a way down that's around there? Shoot. I don't remember if I can do that safely. I'm going to loot this bridge and then worry about it. So we get a lot of stuff over here. Let's see. Advanced knowledge. We get a lot of circular gems, blood tinge stuff. We can maybe make our gun better. And that's the iron door key. I'm pretty sure this is important. Okay, and this drops us off back in Mikolash's arena? Back at the bottom of Mikolash's arena. Okay, so... And now we can kind of walk along these sides to cross that, even though the bridge is gone. That's the area we ran through before getting here. It was kind of rude in general. Okay, I think that we are actually meant to just take a fall on that bridge path area. Yeah, this is a pretty difficult door to make out from the Mikolash fight side. Oh man, we've got some really weird graphical issues here. It does not expect us to come from this direction, I guess. I think the keen eye may have noticed some things popping in and out there. Alright. So yeah, I think I'm just supposed to take this fall, and it's not lethal. Okay, yeah, it's fine, actually. Come over here. There's the Blood Rock. And I don't recall if I can fall down there safely. So we got this out over here, which gets us back onto the bridge. And this is the bridge that has the PvP fight earlier. You can see there's a whole bunch of eyes on the walls. Super pleasant. I don't know if I can fall down there directly, but I know there's a way to get down and see this thing after collapsing it. I think there's just another way to get there. No, I really don't remember, and I don't care very much. I'm just going to fall. Okay, that's certainly a lethal fall. But we got the Blood Rock, which will allow us to max out a weapon. Handy dandy. This actually frees us up to run around and do some other stuff. Because the next boss that's up on this progression is kind of close to the end. I have one throwing knife. I have come across one throwing knife. That's pretty funny. And that's a single throwing knife in a game where you get guns. I suppose that's why they aren't hanging out in other places. Just gonna crunch this. You should be able to use that Blood Rock. It might cost more. Let's see. Oh no, it's actually like ridiculously cheap. While we're at it, we can start upgrading the Hunter Blunderbuss further. And I can check on what that blood gem was. So I got this Tempering Damp, Damp Blood Tinge, and Arcane Damp. So that lists physical attack up, and it seems to give us a damage bonus, even though, like, this is a blood damage thing. I don't know, man. We'll use this. Yeah, these are depth 14 gems all around. So, slightly better shotgun damage. Yay. Our next stop, however, is going to be the home of Blood Tinge and all that jazz. Because we are heading out to Canehurst. Let's see. We've got to go to Canehurst. We've still got to take out Yosefka. We've got more to do in the church area past the messengers, because we've got to fight the daughter of Abraiatas. But I think, given the bosses that are stacked up right now, the two things that are easier for us to go after. Oh yeah, with the Blood Moon up, we get some additional enemies that show up along this pathway. I did this segment early so that these guys would not be here. Now they're here. Excuse me, just moving along. I believe we just need to pop over to this. This is like one of those yet another absurdly well-hidden things in Bloodborne. It's like fairly well hidden. It's not as well hidden as the Dark Souls 1 DLC. The Dark Souls 1 DLC is so hidden it feels like something somebody would tell you about on a playground, about how to get Mew. This at least has certain vague hints. If you're exploring thoroughly in the game in a regular method, you're fairly likely to find the Canehurst summons. It's just based on an offshoot in the woods. The woods are pretty sprawling. If you're not working on exploring the woods a bit, then you're kind of blitzing through things, and maybe you don't deserve to have fun. That might be a little harsh, but knowing to take the Canehurst summons back out to Hemwick Charnel Road and approach this little pillar thingamajig here, I think I figured that out the first time I was playing the game through kind of exhaustive exploration. I figured this out because I could see Canehurst in the distance. And I was thinking to myself, okay, in Dark Souls games, there's usually a way to get over to these places. They don't put random stuff in their skyboxes. If you can see it, it's a destination. So, Canehurst is a fancy extra area. It is a decent spot, if I remember correctly, to farm like certain gem types. I think there are some kind of nasty enemies around here, but it's been a while. I remember that there are definitely some weird blood-sucking little mosquitoes. This is an elevator shortcut. There are a few little areas we can explore. Yeah, we've got these bloodsucker guys. You can see them all over, hanging out. And we've got some little leech dudes along the floor in some places. Very unpleasant. By some places, I may indeed be referring to all over the place. Okay, that one barely got me. My leg! I think, largely, given that our weapon is maxed out, there's not much we even could find here. So I guess I don't need to worry. I should just proceed up along the way towards the boss of the area. And that's the reason why this is an area for us to take care of, because like every single optional area ever, there's a boss at the end of this place. So we're gonna make our way up this tower, castle thing. These guys are like kind of mosquito-like, kind of flea-like bloodsuckers. Can we open this directly? that's right, it opens for us. They're very polite up here in Kanehurst. I thought we could talk with you. My mistake. Oh yes, there are these phantom lasses around who will be a bit troublesome. They're going to proceed to chase us around for a while, and I'm going to try very hard to not fight them. Yeah, they have this phantom-like setup where you can't see them from far away. Yeah, coming here early is a way to get a couple bloodstone chunks. Yeah, these gals don't move very quickly, so if you dilly-dally, they can kind of slowly corner you. Now, I vaguely remember there is some kind of tough fight I'm going to have to get into. Like, I will be forced to fight along the way. I just don't remember where. What'd you get for looking like a secret door, you weird bit of wall? Something's gonna come at me. Oh, right, there are gargoyle things up here. That's one of them. Hey there, can I just run past you? If I can, cool. If I can't, just, you know, don't say anything. Just, like, sit back there. Thank you for cooperating. I feel like opening this is going to get me killed because something's going to show up behind me. Oh, right, the Vile Blood Register. This is related to a covenant. There are like 2 covenants based out of here. It's like rival factions. It's like vampires and vampire hunters type of thing. Okay, here's our shortcut back to the first lamp. Okay, I vaguely remember this library being a bit rough. Right, there are these lasses who kind of like blow a gasket and bleed a bunch, and then they start wheezing. And let's see, is there something else around here that's going to come after me and make this difficult? I think it's that there's a few of these guys that I can't really avoid, but at this point my weapon's maxed out. Yeah, I haven't been here with a maxed out weapon before. That's a definite game changer. Right, so I'm looking to get out over here, and then I need to take a set of falls. A couple things. I don't remember if this is the way to proceed forward or if this is just extra stuff. Something is flying in after me. I'm probably going to want to just deal with it. Hey there, buddy. That's right, and we got this. And we're over here to this. And this is a way in with a switch that opens us a shortcut by opening this up. Right, and that's how we got up there before, so we don't need to keep doing that. Oh, wait, no we do, because this is a setback as well. Let's see. Is there another way out here? I think we're pretty much just running through here for this on the far side. We've aggravated a lot more guys this time through. Ouch. So we're still doing this, still taking this fall and running across this roof. Now this time we're going to run straight over here. And And then across this, grab this. King Cold Blood, handy. Hey, buddy. Okay, actually, I'm forgetting somewhere I need to go. It's probably back in the library. Let me see. Is there something else that's changed? Oh, there's a ladder here now. Right. Forgot about that. Okay, I think this might lead where we need to go. Well, we've definitely got another treasure chest. Open this up while looking behind me. A warm blood gemstone. I think we're coming through here. Examining briefly. This gets us up through here. Okay, and we're on the rooftop. Is this where the boss is? This is just some other nerds for a bit. We get the Knight's Wig, which does us all the advantage of looking kinda cool. Take a small fall here. So I think this connects to some stuff. We can come over here, and I believe... I don't remember if there's a point to coming around this far. No. We're just taking the drop down to this. And then there's a drop down to this. Which we want to wrap around the edges. There's some cool platforming in Canehurst. Like, I like that setup a lot. In Cold Blood, up this ladder. Man, I am glad that I remember more of this place than I remembered. You know, you're like, I don't remember how this place goes, but then you start up on it. It's like, oh yeah, there's this. Bolt Hunter's Marks, those are handy. So I'm getting close to the boss arena. This is the boss arena. So there should be like another shortcut somewhere nearby, isn't there? Was this just a terrible boss run back? I didn't think it was that bad. So I think I'm missing some kind of ladder that I can kick or elevator I can activate somewhere. Okay, well I might just have to do that run for every death I take. Which is taking the elevator up to the library, doing a quick jaunt through the library to the ladder, climbing up the ladder, going through 2 rooms, and then those rooftop segments, which is a pretty annoying run back. I thought there was a shorter way of doing this run back. I might have to check around. Well, let's see if I die. It's very likely. I do not remember how to dodge this guy's attacks. And I remember they're quite snappy. He's a bit of a speedy boy. He's also another, like, humanoid-style target. So, like, you can counter-shoot him and things like that. I think in his phase 2, he starts, like, flying and doing some junk? Man. Oh, that's right. Does he cast spells? Throw spells around? I thought he had a katana. Oh no, it's a scythe. Is it both? He's got something in his left arm. Okay, yeah, he's got a sword and a scythe. Martyr Logarius. Actually, wait, does this place have 2 bosses? Right, he has these, like, slow-moving blood orbs. Ouch. Ouch. Stop. think from what I recall, you really want to try to get in close to get him out of the mood for doing a lot of these things. And some of his moves will actually whiff on a close standing target. The other alternative, of course, is that you get killed by something because you get knocked down in a bad spot. Yeah, that's right. He does like the one big detonating skull. He does the slow-moving explosive. He does the like wave shot thingamajig. And somewhere in the mix, he's got actual melee attacks, but he's mostly just going to do this like big trollerific explosive attack, and then melee attack you if you get hit by it. He's got a phase 2 where he fights more. If I remember correctly, it's either that he has a phase 2 where he fights more fairly, or there's another dude behind him that has more of a straight fight. Because I remember this being more of a straight up sword battle. I think it's just that this dude is a troll and there's another guy behind him. Okay, so we should be able to pull this back down. Yeah, since this guy's a caster in Bloodborne, the standard adage applies. You want to run him down and just, like, beat him up until he says uncle. I believe he is of the persuasion to not enjoy being set on fire. So if we've got access to paper, which we've got a bit of, that's going to be our choice. Run past a few of these ladies over this ladder. We got hit with a dart by that gal. Maybe like 3 darts, 4 darts. I think it's the darts that the servant is hitting us with that mark us as ghost food. I want to take a quick look along here to see if there's any faster way up or anything. Or any secret stuff back over here. Is there like an option to fall down or something? Okay, there's like... Oh, there's a little guy over here. We can kill for some upgrade materials we don't need. Yay. Well, it'll help us upgrade our shotgun, I guess. Whatever. That's kind of neat. Alright. Okay, so, yeah, that whole extra batch of area is not really worth running around. So we're back up on the roof. And up on the roof, we fall down here. And it's over here. Fall down here. And then here. And then we fall down here. So apart from some darts in the back, it's not a bad run. Maybe a bit tedious. And as for the fight, I'm pretty sure we want to start off unlocked running up to him. And we want to give him a good slap to get him to stop casting spells. Basically. That's a get off me attack, or it's a phase 2, or it's a heal. Okay, that is a get off me phase 2 style thing. Okay, now he flies in melees. Maybe it is just one guy. Oh, that's right. Now he does like the sword cloud nonsense. So I'm going to try this time to see if I can critical him when he's trying to make the phase transition, to see if I can forestall that or anything. I also might want to try applying Fire Paper on the Phase 2 transition. As far as how we handle ourselves in the Phase 2, he's gonna pull out that Sword Cloud junk, and there's not too much we can do about it except for trying to line of sight the flying swords. I vaguely remember that you just want to fight him in close quarters behind one of these pillars in that phase. Okay, so it is the same guy I was thinking about. You just have to hit his phase transition for him to act the way I remember. I think I don't remember the first phase very much because you just kind of run up and clown him through it. So his phase transition takes a weirdly long amount of time. And I don't remember how well we can persuade him to not do that. Yeah, it's definitely being hit by the dart that ticks off all the ghosts. We do have to be a little careful because the darts that hit us reduce our stamina and can possibly knock us off the ladder, which is good for a death. It's hard to see the darts, but it's not impossible to dodge them on our initial approach, which can save us from taking a bit of damage. But given that we're going to get shot on the ladder, we're probably still going to use 2 blood vials every time we do this run. Okay, let's run up and start slapping this boss again. So apart from this boss, there are, I still need to go back into the Chalice dungeons and work on that. I was at a boss for the lower Tsumeru Labyrinth. So I can get back to that, of course. Probably don't really need to be using that to top off, because I don't think this guy has attacks that are going to one-shot me. He'll two-shot me for sure. Ah, that's right, he can do that. Okay, so that's not interruptible if he gets past the point of slamming his staff to the floor, and he does like to do that really close range option sometimes that will send us back. Yeah. I don't know how I got through an entire attempt without him doing that, because now that he's done it to me a couple of times, I remember him doing that all the time. I want him to get away from that ledge, because as long as he's hanging out over there, there is a slight possibility that I'm going to take a knockback while fighting him there, and it's just going to ledge me and kill me. Okay, I can't stun him there. I believe his phase change is damage based on proximity. Okay, I took an early dodge there, and that got me. So I think if we engage with in melee with him on the phase 2 for a while, it's gonna hold him off a bit from summoning the Sword Cloud. He'll summon the Sword Cloud more proactively if we disengage in the second phase. And we want to try and get as much damage in as possible before the Sword Cloud comes up. So he's really a boss that kind of forces you to straight fight him, which is neat. Until it's not. Because once he's got the Sword Cloud up, you can't put that genie back in the bottle, and it's going to be a pain in the neck. And I don't think I've ever beaten him without the Sword Cloud coming out. This guy's like just on the cusp of you gotta fight him for real and it's gonna be cool, as far as a BL4 run goes. because I don't know if we can necessarily prompt a visceral. Okay, that was a lot of damage. Okay, I might die here on this run. It's just I got snagged on furniture and then took a dart. There we go. Okay, I only used one extra blood vial than usual. That's not too bad. Okay, so on his phase transition, I'm pretty sure we do have to just absolutely give him a ton of space. I don't think there's much we can do on that transition that is profitable. If we were going to commit to using like a Beast Blood Pellet, that would be a time to use a Beast Blood Pellet. It's not a bad time to paper up, but I've only got like the 2 fire papers, so whatever. Clearly, we're not going to be able to rely on having buff paper for much more of the run. Unlike Dark Souls, where in the late part of the run, you can use a resin on every single fight and not worry about it, because I'd be sitting on like 80 resins in a Dark Souls fight at this point in the game. But fire paper costs like 7 times as much as a resin, so I just don't get it. That hurts. Yeah, the Bloodborne quickstep dodge messes with me a ton. I almost never want to actually quickstep dodge, but I want to lock on the bosses. Like, if I had rolled through that attack instead of quickstepping through it, I'd be fine. And there are plenty of cases on bosses and regular enemies where the quickstep is super useful as well. I mean, it's the lowest cooldown dodge in the series. Pretty sure. I don't know, maybe like Woodgrain Fast Roll from DS1 might be faster, but not by a lot even. There we go. So I dodged that, not by actually seeing the dart, but by watching the little handmaiden who shoots the darts. I just time my swerve with her animation, and that will save me 1 blood vial. And technically I should be popping that blood vial after I have taken the fall over here. Now, that's not the fall that's damaging me. Is it this fall on the bridge? No, this won't hurt. It's the last fall. Okay. That's where I should be healing myself to save blood vials. I saw a YouTube video that looked pretty interesting. It was a challenge for the most souls starting from new game in like a 1-hour period. And the amount that somebody earned was pretty absurd. And it was scored based on like how many loose souls you had sitting, which is pretty cool and pretty nutty for a few reasons. Oh, that still got me. And it killed me. Wow, okay. That's the power of not using that extra, that's the power of not using that extra blood vial. I'm pretty sure if I was at full health, that would not have been lethal. I'm really wondering what the Elden Ring SL1 is going to be like. The BL4 is super restrictive because there are like no stat augmenting items in Bloodborne. You can sometimes get... I'm going to hide for a moment to get my stamina back, because I need to be able to climb this ladder safely. You have full access to blood gems in Bloodborne, which is kind of neat, but they don't provide anywhere near the same utility as like rings in Dark Souls. And if the game Elden Ring doesn't feature some pretty cool rings, I'm going to be confused. Not upset, just confused. Yeah, there we go. Take the fall, then we Blood Vial. Some of the game flow they were showing off reminded me a lot of Sekiro. You're like a lot more mobile, you have an on-demand dedicated jump button, so there are some attacks where the correct play is going to be to jump over them. Though it doesn't have like Sekiro's parry mechanic. I did think, playing Sekiro, that the interplay between, like... the interplay between, like, jumping and the other counter options was pretty cool. Phase change. We move pretty far away. Full health. Fire paper, please. There we go. Okay, there he summoned up the sword cloud, so that diminishes my earlier assumption. Right. Some of his sword swings leave lingering slashes that cut in a moment later, and that can let him one-shot us with a sword attack. He has very big critical parry windows, so I think our game plan here, actually for Phase 2, is just to spam gunfire at him and expect him to crumple. Okay, we're now low on blood vials. We have like maybe 2 attempts before we have to fix that. Maybe more than 2 attempts if we play it clean. Something that messed up my groove in that last one was that I knocked him down, but didn't actually get the visceral because I didn't line up with his face. But yeah, this is definitely one of those bosses where spamming counters and viscerals can get you a lot of mileage. Because I dodged through things, I wound up in a slightly wrong place. I think that's going to cost me 1 extra blood vial. I had to check to see if I was crazy or if I had like misremembered this or what was going on. There is no way to make your blood vials heal for more. They're always going to heal for 40%. You get more effective health out of that if your health is higher. So, yeah. That's part of what will make it nice to have a high-level clockwise metamorphosis rune. Yeah, the extra dart means I need to use an extra blood vial there. If I only get the one dart on the way in, we're good. Hey there. No, I don't think I was planning on playing anything else tonight. I think it was probably just going to be Bloodborne. I'm not planning on doing any Dead by Daylight. I mean, I might. But I've taken out like one boss tonight. I got my weapon fully upgraded. I cleared this area, which is nice. Get out of the radius of that. This far away should be fine. I should have known he wouldn't take a stagger on that, so that was a bit reckless of me to attack there. And that's the last of our fire paper. So we'll be down to fighting him pretty normally. I think doing like half the first phase unlocked is a pretty good choice. I'm going to keep doing that, I think. Let's see, I don't think there's anything else that I want to equip that would give me, like, much difference. I think that in standard play, with, like, a leveled up character, you could probably just, like, pop a lead urn and go to town. It's one thing about lead urns, poise and rally damage combined in a pretty nutty way. Okay, I took that extra poke. Didn't time my roll correctly. And I'm rolling early there because I'm worried about getting snagged on one of the chairs. A little annoying. Yeah, I'll pop a second vial just to make sure, just to insulate against possible mistakes in the first phase. It's like a certain cadence of hits where I can knock him out of the retaliation because he will just stagger for any reason in first phase. In second phase, he does not. He will stagger for some dedicated reasons. off. Ow. Wrong timing on the dodge. Okay, set up swords. He's gonna be really stuck on the other side of that building for a moment. There we go. Yeah. If I move out from behind these buildings, I'm gonna take random swords. Okay, he's just super in the mood to fly. Oh look, random sword hits. Ah. Well, that ate all my blood vials, and I could not even tell where that attack trajectory was. This is a pretty noisy fight. That's a fight I might watch. I think I might actually watch a tutorial on that fight. For now, I need to go farm more blood vials, because I definitely don't stand a chance of that without getting some blood vials. I've beaten this before on BL4. It's just a matter of getting the counters right. Like, if I can get the counter timing correct in Phase 2, we can probably just kind of chain stun him to death. For now, though, let's see. What is a late game area where I can make a bunch of souls really quick? Upper Cathedral Ward is pretty dangerous. Let's see. I might be able to pick up a lot pretty quickly in Yahar Ghul. Huh, I can still lantern into the Hypogean Gowl. What does that actually take? Oh, yeah, you can't. Ha! The lamp's gone. That's what I thought. Let me go to the Yahar Ghul Chapel. I think that some of these packs of enemies with the bell ringers I might be able to take out fairly easily, because if you take out a bell ringer, they lose a bunch of stats, and they should be good for decent amount of blood echoes. It might be annoying to do this without blood vials, but they can drop blood vials too, so there we go. Might help. Oh, I'm also due to go back to Yosefka's clinic. Gotta think about that soon. There to recover some health. Come over and take you out. And he got me on the backswing. Boo! Okay, well that quick smattering of stuff was good for 3,000 blood vials, 3,000 blood echoes. And it is about 700. Is it 800 or 900 per blood vial? Ugh. I need like 20,000 before I can go back, minimum. I do have a lot of cold blood I could spend on this. So there's that, and there's a couple errands I could run. These at least lock on the right guys. There we go. That's how that should work. Yeah, that's how we want to take out that pack. think they're mostly just going to drop bullets for us. Technically, if we want to farm blood vials, we could also equip the arcane room beforehand. Just give us a bit of a hand. Let's see. Yeah, this is the room that would correspond to the Hypogean Gowl. And there's like a PvP fight guy over there now. A couple of these, actually. So I wanted to check out down here. So, okay, yeah, these witches are replaced by one of these beasts, and the rest of the area is really nasty. I was trying, if you wouldn't be so rude, to get to my, hunters, bold hunter's marks that would just let me, go back. I forgot that there were, PvP fighters over here. I only loosely remembered. I still haven't killed them. If I wanted to fully explore the area, I would have to take those out, but I've gotten the most valuable things around here already, which are the blood gems. If there's a crescent blood gem around, that would give me an upgrade, but eh. I'm just going to spend cold blood, and also going to spend all this stuff and get more insight. I don't think we can get much more for using insight. Actually, wait, can we even... Oh, we can't actually exceed 99 insights, so what can we purchase with insight? Because we're sitting on a spare 9, and I probably also just, like, overcapped myself disgustingly. I really thought this could go over 100. Well, I can get bolt paper and fire paper, so let's get 20 of these. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing else interesting. Well, I wish I had not overcapped myself on that stuff. If I had known that beforehand, I could have gotten a lot more useful stuff. Oh well. These, let's go for 32,000. 25,000. I believe I can use these as well. Get these blood gems. The gold blood gem and the tier blood gem. I don't think these are terribly good for us. Attack versus beasts up by 12.6%. HP continues to recover +2. That's right, the tier blood gem is okay. Being a droplet blood gem, I think that goes in a gun. Yeah, okay. Huh. Probably throw that on there. And I'm going to purchase a lot of blood vials. Okay. And we can go ahead and put fire paper back on the bar then. And I'm going to sell a lot of things that I'll never use, which are the blue elixirs, the numbing mists, pungent blood cocktails. I'm definitely not using any of that stuff. I still don't know if Shaman Bone Blades might be useful, so I'm not using those right now. The Choir Bell we can never use. That is friendly healing for when you're matched up with other people. We'll buy a bolt paper with that. Okay, and I'm actually going to pivot to working on Chalice dungeons again. So we've still got a good number of Chalice dungeons to clear. We're in the very beginning of the lower Tumerian Labyrinth. And then after the Tumerian Labyrinth is done, which is 3 more bosses, we then have the Hintertomb and the Lauren Chalices. Hintertomb, I believe, is just 2. Lauren, I don't remember if that's 2 or 3. But we did already unlock the boss here, so we can just run over to the boss. Okay, yeah, I got hit by a shotgun, which got me out of being able to perform the critical. But we actually do a lot of damage to these guys, so I'm not going to take them super seriously because it'll take forever. So another game that I was playing a bunch a while ago, and I had almost figured out the streaming, but I had a worse capture card then. I was playing a lot of Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter Rise. I could see myself sitting back down to more of that, especially because it's gonna be a big expansion coming out this next year. Okay, I got cornered. That's bad. Don't get cornered. So this one I'm hitting is actually the Chieftain, rather than being a standard watcher. I think the Chieftain might have more health. I'm not sure. It might be the better stratagem to go after the shotgunner, because they can't hit in close quarters, and then I won't have to worry about them. I think the Chieftain might be a more aggressive character. I mean, per the weapon sets here, we've got one with a cleaver, one with the club, and one with the shotgun. The one with the shotgun always carries like some kind of backup weapon, but won't usually pull that weapon out. Ouch. Yeah, I think the best way for us to conduct this fight is going to be to kind of run around the arena in a circle so that we can pick out the ranged character. And then just run in for an attack string on that, and then move back to a pillar, heal if necessary, and then wait again. They are not splitting up this time. Here we go. And a good bit of time to come after me, maybe behind something. Ouch. Oh, I couldn't quite get behind the pillar. Yay! Yeah, the reason I moved away from this fight until I had the fully upgraded weapon is because it's just a messy fight. Oh, thank you very much. See, I know the new DLC is out in Dead by Daylight. At least I think it's out. It might not be out yet. I don't know. I don't know when they're actually releasing the artist. But it did look like a pretty interesting killer to play. Yeah, I got killed there. I was trying to get the critical and trying to get the rally. I don't know. That went all over the place. So whatever I can do in terms of channel points, emotes, and stuff, I think I really need to get locked down before Elden Ring is out. Okay, so that's like a basic 3 sequence that he'll try to do. Not familiar with that attack sequence. Not as much. It's like a big frenzy thing. right into that. Good dodge me. Go ahead and use a fire paper. No. Hit me even though I was running, because my running direction wasn't great. Got him half dead, the shotgunner. I saw the one with the club prepping something. I didn't necessarily answer correctly. I think he just shotgunned his friend's back, and I don't know if the bullets can travel through each other for these guys. Oh, tagged me. Fortunately, getting tagged is another 2 healing vials tax. Oh, he actually put away the shotgun for a little bit. That's kind of neat. He's liable to take it back out again. Okay, there's one down. One down, one at half. And the one at half is the one I'm going to want to focus on. And then I'll be down to just the last guy. So I want to prompt an attack from you. Okay, that ends with that swing. That's not a single swing. I thought it was just a one swing there. I was trying to get out the shotgun in between that string, but you can't really retaliate. You don't get to retaliate with a gun. You're the player character. That's an NPC move. I wish this were not as long as it is, but this is just a kind of a long setup. The last time it had us run up against these goons as a boss, it was in a much bigger room, so we were able to string them out more easily. This particular setup, it's just a lot harder to stay safe. Is that a one-shot? Oh, that's a one-shot attack. I had him down to half. I'm just trying to see if I could get this guy in a corner and, like, beat him up pretty fast. Oh, Sister Frida? Yeah, that fight's incredible. It's a really good mix of, like, aggression. The second phase is so cool. You're just, like, managing the both of them, trying to deal with this dude clonking around this big bowl. Don't shoot me, don't shoot me. The shotgunner, if you get a stagger out of him, he's gonna retaliate. It looks like I can use that to get in an extra hit anytime I'm going after him. And He'll get that stagger on the third hit if I do go after him. I'm like just barely comfortable enough to maybe use fire paper on this fight. Ouch. Couldn't quite see that attack incoming. Yeah, that one I saw happening, in slow motion even. And I got shot twice, so that's a death. Ugh, massively annoying. Neat. I still gotta find out things for channel points to do. If I get into some other kinds of challenge runs, I think I could use like channel points incentives to make things happen in those runs. There's probably a way to do that for like Link to the Past randomizer, which I've looked at doing before, like as in playing. I used to know a good bit about the routing for that game, but it's hard to remember it all if you're not actively playing it. Some amount of this I'm going off of like auditory cues on the shotgun firing cadence, but the guy does not always want to like keep the shotgun up. Winged me there. I got a little bogged down there. I'm glad the shotgunner took a break. So if he was going full tilt, I think he would have just killed me there. A couple swipes. Back in the waiting game. That time he didn't stun. Even though I did like a 1-2, 1-2-3. I'm trying to keep the shotgunner between me and the other two so that I can keep an eye on like how they're planning to come at me. That killed me. That's a one-shot move. I haven't interacted enough with the cleaver guy to know that. So that's like a cleaver baseball bat attack. It's a good thing I have, you know, 80 blood vials. Well, I had 80 blood vials. A lot less by now. I'm using fewer blood vials per fight, but I'm still getting randomly one shot, so there you go. Yeah, I needed to, if I was going to get up that fast, I needed to roll again more quickly. I don't know if I had the time to roll again more quickly. Maybe barely. I mean, hey, don't get knocked down. That's all there is to it. I'd have to ask somebody in the community whether or not they actually consider these fights to be a necessary part of like all bosses category. Because I might be doing this for absolutely no reason. Ouch. Like, I'm considering it to be part of an all bosses run, but that might be meaningless. You know, come to think of it, I'm going to go work on something else, and I'm going to check how many people actually think that that's part of an all bosses run, or if that's part of, like, the generally accepted definition to do these, chalice dungeons. Because that's a difference of, like, 10 or 12 boss fights. But a lot of them are kind of crummy mini-bosses and recycled fights. There are a couple unique fights in those dungeons that are pretty cool. Alright, so another thing that I need to do is I need to go into the back of Yosefka's clinic again. There is a reckoning that must transpire. So I need to get another third of umbilical cord. So walk out the front of Yosefka's clinic, and then around the back, and then through here. No, that's not correct. There's like a ladder around here, isn't there? That doesn't open up. I'm misremembering something about this. Okay, maybe you do come back down here. Okay, and there's a brain sucker. Here's the ladder. The brain sucker doesn't have any attacks that can bother us while we're up a ladder. Let's see. If I'm not working on the Chalice dungeons, then Logarius really is the quote-unquote progression boss to be working on right now. So I'll get back to him in a sec. Sometimes you just gotta change it up a little bit. Which of these offshoots is Yosefka hanging out in? This is her operating theater, so previously she would be up here.
God, I'm nauseous. Have you felt this? It's progressing. I can see things. I knew it. I'm different. I'm no beast. Oh, God, it feels awful. Don't you see how they writhe inside my head? It's rather rapturous.
Things have gone very strange for her at this point. We're going to put her crazy self out of her misery. This fellow here is the cannibal that we sent back here from the village. He's been experimented on and warped into this weird thing. Another emissary. Okay. So yeah, we'll be getting back down now to the boss we were working before. I don't want to do this extra walking. I'm just going to use a Bolt Hunter's Mark. So we'll get back to man on top of castle. If we can take out Castle Man, we've got two other things to work on. We've got not actually a tremendous number of bosses left if we're not counting the Chalice Dungeon stuff. If we count the Chalice Dungeon stuff, there's quite a lot. but we have some very challenging bosses to take down. We're in the late game. Which one of these connects to Canehurst? Not this one. It's got all the... Oh, here we go. Okay, so Canehurst is considered on a level with Yahar'gul. Sure. That sounds about right, considering that you can find bloodstone chunks there. Although you can access it before killing Rom, which is kind of neat. So we gotta take down this guy. And then afterwards, we've got the Daughter of Abriatas, which is a rough customer, but a really cool boss. And then we've got the DLC. And I don't remember if the DLC has 2 or 3 bosses. I remember it's got at least 2. Ouch. Okay, that is very unfortunate for my health. Okay, and I got hit by a little dart. So they're all going to freak out. And I'm going to be hit by several more darts as I climb up this ladder. Blech. So we'll go through a handy number of blood vials as a result of taking those hits from that ghost. I wanted to see if I could run around her on the left to avoid the circumstance where I roll through the furniture and then get shot. So that turned out a lot worse. Okay, so my troubles on this boss fight so far is I need to figure out a more effective stratagem for handling his standard sword combos in Phase 2. Possibly a means of dealing with the Sword Storm in Phase 2. There are kind of a few there appear to be a few different components to how the Sword Storm works. First of all, if I am far away enough from the center of the Sword Storm, I appear to be getting stabbed with, like, lateral swords that hit me kind of randomly. If the Sword Storm has a direct LOS on me, it will throw some swords directly at me, which is no fun for me. I'm sure it's a lot of fun for Ligarius. I appreciate it when he's keen on that looped behavior for phase 1. I might be able to hit him. Yeah, okay, so after a leap I can get a critical. That's pretty cool. So long as I dodge the leap. Yeah, keep doing that, by all means. I was annoyed by it at first, now it's endearing. Move back since I messed up. Okay, so I need to not dodge to his right on that sword slash. Because that sword slash is actually ending on his right, and so that's catching me after my intangibility's worn off. So I need to dodge to his left for sword attacks. I need to dodge on my left, his right for sword attacks. Now it's noteworthy that at this point, I think our visceral attack does less damage than our charged R2. So rather than criticaling him and going for the visceral, I might want to critical him and go for the charged R2 unless I'm damaged. If I'm damaged, going for the visceral buys me time to heal while he gets back up off the floor. It's also possible that going for the visceral might give me like a better setup on him. It might influence his behavior in a desirable way. So that's something to think about. There we go. That's the way to dodge that. You just gotta be, you can be nice and eager about... Did I have enough stamina for this? Oh no. I did not have enough stamina. That's a death. Yeah, I did not get my stamina back before going up the ladder. The dodge for the rest of the room was good, though. Eh. So yeah, we've got this guy, Ebrietas, Mergo's Wet Nurse, and taking out Mergo's Wet Nurse is the end of the any % run. To stop running at that point, so that we get our stamina back before we go up the ladder. If we run all the way to the ladder, we're going to get knocked off the ladder and die. Yeah, Mergo's Wet Nurse is the end of the any %. But to get an all bosses clear, we've got 2 bosses after Mergo's Wet Nurse as well. But they're like a combo boss. And that would be Gerhardt and the Moon Presence, the final boss of the game. In the DLC, I know we've got Ludwig the Holy Blade. I think it's Ludwig. It might be Lawrence. Oh, I healed too early. I forgot I'm supposed to wait until I take this fall. And I know we've got the Orphan of Kos. I don't remember if there is another boss in the DLC apart from those 2. I have not fully explored the DLC. Whether casual or BL4, I've never killed the Orphan of Kos. So that's going to be pretty new. I don't remember if I've fought the Orphan of Kos before, but I know I've fought the daughter of Ebrietas. He's in a different mood in terms of his cadence. Shotgun blast of skulls. Dang. Missed time to dodge. Yeah, the first phase is moody. Sometimes you can get him in a cadence where you're interrupting his retaliation, and other times his retaliation is going to happen at a slightly different point. I think, theoretically, I should keep swinging at him until I see that he attempts a retaliation and gets interrupted, which on my end is going to be usually either 2 or 3 swings. And if it's 2 swings and I interrupt it once, but I take 3 swings, he might do the retaliation afterwards. It's something like that. It seems to be somewhat based on whether I'm hitting him while he's in a neutral stance, or if he's fully active when I hit him. Let's see, there's some other stuff to test out during this fight. For instance, if he is if he's in the air for his like aerial chop attack thingamajig, if I stand underneath him, will I be hit? Or can I stand underneath him and then just kind of walk gradually to not take a hit? I don't know how much he can actually correct his angle after he's jumped. So if I like cross under him, can he fully correct his angle? I'm assuming he can. that's pretty typical for a boss who's got that kind of, like, ooh, I'm above you sort of telegraph. There we go. 1 blood vial. Nice. Am I able to see statistically what the healing continuation does? Have to be in the weapon screen. No, because I can look at the help for this, but it's not displayed anywhere. Let's see, if I look at the inventory for this, and I go down to the tier bloodstone that's providing the effect, it's not displayed because equipped gems are not displayed here. Okay. I was wondering what that continued healing means. I'm assuming it's like a small recovery tick, but it's probably too small to notice for one. Oh, not too close to that. Get space while I heal up. Get back to the standard flow. Okay, no good there. Yeah, okay. So I can't recover from that and make attacks if he hits me with that. I probably had enough recovery time to dodge. Yeah. Not quite figured out how to get this phase consistent. I mean, sometimes it's just a breeze. Sometimes you literally just walk at him and keep attacking. But other times he's like, nah. As far as the critical attacks in Phase 2 goes, I was mentioning a couple attempts ago that it may not be best for me to take that Visceral. That is a quirk of Bloodborne. The damage you inflict with your critical attacks, your Visceral attack, is not based on your weapon, unlike every Dark Souls game. Instead, it's based on a mix of your level and your stats. Every one of your stats adds to visceral damage at a bit of a different rate. Skill builds, which is to say, like dexterity-based setups, your skill actually factors in more than your strength on your critical damage. So strength-based builds get less benefit for lining up those criticals. I think that blood tinge scaling on them is also quite high, so your gun-based builds benefit from that. I'm gonna watch my health bar to see, like, is the health gradually recovering? It is. I saw it tick up a little bit just now. Okay. There's a little bit going on. So health continues to recover does mean, like, health per X interval. No idea what the interval actually is. But yeah, it's okay. I also have to wonder if that's percentile or if it's a flat value. This is the cadence. Now, if only I knew how to set that up on demand. While he's in a corner like this, it's a lot harder for me to continually rail on him. So I do depend on him backstepping between those like bits of the sequence to keep me safe. And he doesn't like to leave any spot he's gotten into, really, if you're not forcing him. There we go, phase 2. Phase 2 will get him out of that corner. He's going to come over here to kill me. Move back, heal up. Okay, I can't quite get off 2 R2s, so that's a reason not to worry about doing that. Ouch. So we'll just take the critical. That whiffed over his head, and I have, like, no understanding of physics if that's gonna happen. He's a tall boy. I dodged too early. I don't believe that shotgun blast whiffed into a wild blue yonder. This guy has quite a lot of health relative to the damage we're dealing, like, honestly. I either need to use Fire Paper more aggressively, I might need to tweak my weapon to do baseline fire damage, depending on his resistances. Or I just need to damage him a lot more consistently. So I think the big problem is, we're not able to push damage in the transition, and I'm just not getting in my licks in the second phase, because I'm very antsy about his attack patterns. And the occasional visceral attacks do not hit him very hard. So it looks like my most reliable source of damage is cleanly avoiding his, like, big leap-in stuff. But I need to be able to avoid and punish his basic attack strings too, or I'm going to have a really long, obnoxious fight where I eat a ton of basic attacks, waiting forever for him to do something fancy. And that's not going to fly. I think a big part of the problem I've got here is that dodging him properly while locked on is a huge pain. So I'm going to need to do a weird amount of this fight unlocked for him being a humanoid opponent. Because I need to be using that unlocked dodge. The locked on, like, sticky dodge is really annoying when you need to dodge big sweepy attacks. I'm also not dodging his stabs successfully at all, and that's, for me, because his sword just fades into the flippin' background. I can't see his sword to save my life. I can see the scythe because it's red and glowy and it's doing all sorts of stuff. But for certain attack patterns, I can't see his sword at all. It's just blending in. Definitely decide to do that in that case. Okay, that is very rude. I needed to attack him straight up, because I would have knocked him out of that sight pattern if I just slapped him. His follow-up on that is faster than I expect it to be, given that the first attack in that chain is pretty slow. Yeah, I think I just need to do basically the entire fight unlocked, even though he's going to move around like a flibberty gibbet sometimes. I almost have like a loose moral opposition almost to fighting unlocked against something that isn't a dragon. So far we've only killed one boss tonight, which is Mikolash. If we don't get another boss kill in one sitting, I'll be a little annoyed at myself, because it's definitely, like, I think within my ability to kill both of these bosses in the same sitting. I don't think I get killed going up the ladder with this. I do not, but, you know, it's not comfy. Okay, so taking one attack from a ghost before I get up the ladder does not cause me to die on the ladder. Neat. Oh, wait. I'm short on blood vials again. Yeah, because I'm not fully restocked. If anybody's thinking about whether or not to run a BL4, blood vials are the like the deciding factor on whether or not you might not want to do this. Even in baseline Bloodborne, I felt that blood vials were a very uncomfortable mechanic. It feels punishing to people who don't know, like, what they're doing, and I felt as though that was antithetical to the Dark Souls spirit. Now, I understand this is more similar to the Demon Souls healing mechanic. Because I understand that in Demon Souls you just have a consumable. But, like, I think that's junky. Like, I'm sure some people prefer that, and I'm here to tell them that they're wrong. Okay, what are you up to? Oh, come on, don't do that. Oh, wait, that's right. You can take the sword out of the ground, and then that sword storm stops happening. I forgot that was part of the mechanic, that you can actually deny that mechanic. Okay. Right. So that's maybe a factor. Ugh. Well, that's what I get for not being on top of him. Again. Huh. Yeah, Dark Souls bosses sometimes punish you. Dark Souls bosses sometimes punish you for attacking. Bloodborne bosses punish you for not attacking. And that is not usually a phenomenon in Dark Souls. There are locations and zones in Dark Souls that punish you for not attacking them. But in Bloodborne, bosses punish you for not attacking them. Absolutely. And that is actually cool when you get down to it. Like, I prefer that. I think that's very interesting. I just wish that I did not have to take a break every, like, 4 or 5 boss attempts to run back home and buy more potions. That's like the problem with Diablo 2. I am glad that every good ARG since then has kind of solved Diablo 2's crippling potion addiction in one way or another. Whether it's like the flasks in Path of Exile, or the like ready access to emergency healing skills and the cooldowns on potions in Grim Dawn. I haven't played Last Epoch. I'm sure it has another solution. I think the flask solution from, what's it called? From Path of Exile is pretty good. Oh, I got hit by two things at once, since I was going for an attack on him in a greedy way and he hit me with a retaliation. I wanted to get an attack in on him to stop him from doing more casting, and I knew that I was going to have to get out of his big cast before that smacked me. And I just got smacked by both things instead. Great. Great. Yeah. So we've got Canehurst, Ebrietas, the DLC, and that's in escalating order of difficulty. Largely. Some stuff in the DLC might actually be easier than Ebrietas. That boss can really kick my ass. The nature of farming blood vials is the kind of thing that makes me want to cheat. Just really don't appreciate that mechanic. It feels especially nasty after going through Dark Souls 1 and 2 and like having such good access to resins. 1, 2, and 3. By the end game, you're swimming in resins. You can use as much resin as you want. Get silly with this stuff. Speaking of the other Dark Souls, though, somebody on Reddit linked me a strat for taking down the horrible, like, ice horse deer things in the Frigid Wastelands in Dark Souls 2. And that got me thinking that I might sit back down and try to take out Ludenzalen. I don't think that fight is impossible. I think that fight's actually probably pretty reasonable, because I don't think Ava was like a big block for me on this last run. I just didn't want to do that run back. One parting gift from me to you. Okay, I gotta get on it. And not die. That's what I get for locking on. I locked on, and my dodges didn't work right. Okay. I'm gonna close this for today. I am not in the right headspace. I'm making some kind of similar mistakes from fight to fight, and I think I just want to review this from a strat perspective before I spend even more blood vials, because these are it's really grinding my gears to have to worry about how many healing items I have left. So I'm gonna call it tonight. That's a pretty short session, only 2.5 hours. I usually want to do at least 3 hours for these. So we'll try and get back down to this the next time I have a really good chunk of time. Tomorrow, we're going to be playing Star Wars Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order. The rest of the week, Friday will be on Dead by Daylight. Apart from that, I'm kind of booked, because I'll be doing some stuff on Thursday, Saturday, and probably Sunday. So, thank you for cruising by. This has been Jupiter Exile. Until next we wander. Good night.